Coming up in this week's episode of Coast News, a major announcement changes the future of the UK theme park industry forever, and a major milestone has been reached in the renovation of an attraction at Pleasure Beach Resort. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Coast News. And as always, we've got some amazing news from different theme parks, rides, attractions and events all over the world. So let's get straight into the news today. Our top story for tonight: Universal Studios Great Britain has been officially confirmed to have been given the green light by the UK government. And honestly, it's absolutely incredible news that we've finally got the confirmation that the biggest theme park to ever be built in the UK and one of the biggest to ever be built in Europe is finally happening. It's been given the green light, the go ahead by the government. Honestly, this is just absolutely crazy. You will have seen this everywhere by now, so you don't really need me to tell you this, but I just wanted to put this out there anyway because this is just crazy. But if you don't know, if you haven't seen the news of what I'm talking about, basically, plans for the UK's largest theme park were revealed to have been given the green light by the UK government on Wednesday. Universal Studios Great Britain is set to be built in Kempston Harwick in Bedfordshire, England. The project is expected to generate 28,000 jobs, 20,000 of which are in the construction phase of the project and 8,000 of which are for staff members when the park opens. It is also expected to generate £50 billion of economic benefits for the UK economy. The park itself will feature 4 themed lands, a 500-room on-site hotel, and an entertainment and leisure district similar to Universal City Walk. The construction of Universal Studios Great Britain will also see major changes to the local transportation infrastructure, including an expansion to Wixham's railway station, new slip roads from the A421 and upgrades to Manor Road. Universal Studios Great Britain is expected to open in 2031, with construction starting at some point in 2026 and planning documents being submitted to the local council within the next few months. So yeah, it's been given the green light at a major press conference where the Prime Minister was there and literally all government officials were there to give it the go ahead. All they've got to do now is they've got to get the planning permission from the local council. That should not be a problem at all anyway, because we know that the local councils have been supporting this project right from the beginning. So planning permission should be approved pretty much as soon as it's submitted, because they've been supporting this project for so long now, because they know how beneficial this will be to the economy of this country, how much tourism it'll bring and how much money it'll bring, and it's going to be absolutely crazy. See, I know when this park is built, we only have to wait 6 years for it to actually open, and construction will start next year. So in between when the planning permission is approved and when the construction starts, there'll be all sorts of land clearing on the site. We know that they've already started setting up fences around the park perimeter, so they are definitely preparing for land preparation and land clearing for construction to fully start at some point in 2026. In other news today, Launchpad at Pleasure Beach Resort has begun testing. And I say testing, but it's begun a phase of testing, which is actually pretty interesting to see. But it also is a good indicator that it's getting closer and closer to its official reopening. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Launchpad is an S&S drop tower located at Pleasure Beach Resort in Blackpool, England. Originally opening in 1999 as PlayStation The Ride, it has gone through several name changes throughout its service life. Most recently known as Ice Blast, the ride sat SBNO, or Standing But Not Operating, throughout the entire 2024 season, with fans speculating on what the future of Ice Blast holds. In December, Pleasure Beach Resort confirmed that Ice Blast would be renamed and rethemed for the 2025 season, and would now be known as Launchpad. The ride will also receive major upgrades to its mechanical systems, with the park stating that these upgrades will massively enhance the ride experience. Earlier this week, the gondola for Launchpad was reinstalled onto the ride tower, and is currently undergoing maintenance testing. This is the phase of testing where the gondola is raised and lowered up and down the tower for the ride mechanics and operators to make sure that the gondola can actually run smoothly along the tower at full speed. Full speed testing of launch pad will begin soon. So yeah, it's actually pretty interesting to see that they've now not only got the gondola back onto the actual ride tower itself, but it has also begun maintenance testing. So it's not begun the full speed testing where it's been launched right up to the top of the ride at high speeds, but that should commence pretty soon, probably within the next few weeks even. Now the ride's opening day is still not yet known. The park have stated it is going to be this spring. There is going to be like a fan event, like a Pleasure Beach Resort fan club event on the 17th of May where whether the ride will be open by then, I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. And I am actually going to Pleasure Beach Resort at the time that this video is being uploaded. So I will actually get to see whether they'll still be doing this maintenance testing on launch pad in person. I'll also be filming a whole separate video about it, and it'll actually be really good, and I cannot wait to show you all what the progress is being made currently on launch pad, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it reopens later this year. Also in the news today, track for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift has officially been completed. And this ride, it actually looks crazy, like the whole experience of it and the technology being involved. I don't think we've really ever seen anything like this. We've not seen anything like this from Intamin at all. But basically, to explain all of this, if you're not sure, the track for the brand new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift was fully completed earlier this week. Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift is a brand new Intamin launch coaster currently being built at Universal Studios Hollywood in California in the United States. The ride is rumoured to feature prototype spinning cars from Intamin, which will stimulate the feeling of drifting at high speeds. In September 2023, the park announced that a new roller coaster themed to the Fast and Furious franchise will begin construction soon and would officially open in 2025. Despite vertical construction beginning only a few months later, the ride's opening was pushed back to 2026. A few days ago, track was officially completed on this brand new roller coaster. The final piece of track to be installed was the highest piece of the dive loop just before the third launch. Theming around the ride station has also begun to be installed. So yeah, vertical construction, the whole track layout is now finished, like completely finished. And like I've just mentioned, theming around like the ride station has also started to go up. And yeah, the layout of this thing looks insane. Like especially like with where it's positioned on like the hillside, sort of weaving in and out between the escalators at the park's entrance. It looks mad. It honestly does. It looks it may be probably the best coaster in California when it opens. I mean, I've not been to California, but I've heard that this could be up there as one of the best, if not the best. And yeah, like I mentioned with those spinning cars, it's not been confirmed, but there was some leaked concept art from just before the ride was officially announced, where it showed spinning cars running along the ride track, which was modeled after the cars from the films, which could simulate drifting as if you're like driving a car and you're drifting along. So that could actually look really cool and bring a very unique experience. It's only really found probably, I best probably say, on Mack Extreme spinning coasters, because if the rumours are true, and this is probably, I'd say, Intamin's version of Mack Ride's Extreme spinning coaster, because you've got the intense layout, you've got the launchers, and you've got the spinning cars. But either way, whether this has spinning cars or not, it still looks to be an absolutely incredible layout with some insane elements, and really, it's going to travel at incredibly high speeds and bring some intense forces. Whether this will still open in 2026 or whether they could open it towards the end of this year, with the fact that the track's already been completed, I'm not sure, but we'll have to just wait and see what this brand new ride looks like when it opens. And finally in the news today, Alton Towers has confirmed a reopening date for Skyride. And honestly, this news, we've been waiting for this news for quite a while now. I'm actually glad that this ride is reopening. Why it's taken them so long to get it back up and running, I've got absolutely no idea, but at least it's back open now. It's going to be back open soon, I guess. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Alton Towers officially confirms the opening date of the Skyride after 2 full seasons of extended downtime. Skyride is a Palmer gondola lift which first opened at Alton Towers way back in 1987. The ride has 3 stations, which are located in Tower Street, Forbidden Valley and near the Towers ruins. Throughout the whole 2023 and 2024 seasons, Skyride was completely closed to the public due to extensive maintenance problems. Prior to the start of the 2024 season, Alton Towers Divisional Director Bianca Samet stated that Skyride was undergoing quote-unquote a multi-million-pound refurbishment, but it would not reopen until 2025. In January 2025, Alton Towers released a video confirming that Skyride was testing and was on track for a 2025 reopening. However, just before the season began, they confirmed that Skyride, along with Hex and Congo River Rapids, would not be ready for opening day and would instead reopen in April. Recently, Alton Towers have finally confirmed that Skyride will be reopening on 30th of April 2025. So yeah, it is finally opening at the end of this month. You know, I'm gutted that it wasn't ready for opening day because, you know, that's probably one of the only times I'm going to get to Alton Towers on opening day. I'm not going back now until August. That's the next confirmed time I'm going. August. That's a few months away. I think that's about 4 months away. So hopefully it should be operating by then, assuming it's not broken again. But yeah, it's reopening on the 30th of April. So it's great to see that it's finally reopening. But I'm just hoping that this quote-unquote multi-million-pound investment will actually be worth it. I'm hoping they've actually done something substantial to the attraction to actually make it a lot more reliable than it has been. Because it's barely been open since 2022. I don't even know what to say, but I'm just glad that it's reopening after all this time. Because it's not just a ride, it's a pretty significant part of the park's infrastructure, because it's a major part of transportation. That and the monorail provide major transport links, because it's a huge park, and it's quite difficult to actually, especially, you know, where like people who struggle to walk, it's quite difficult to get from one end of the park to the other by simply walking. So Skyride and monorail have been crucial in the park's like transportation infrastructure, and the fact that Skyride has been closed for so long has had a massive impact on all of this. So I'm finally glad that they're able to get it back open again. And you know, I can't wait to see what changes have been made in all the opening day vlogs that come out, and in a few months' time when I actually get to go back on this ride myself. So that is it for this week's episode of Coast News. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, then please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment with a like. See you in the next video. Goodbye.